Once upon a time, in a village near the forest, there lived a cheerful little girl known to everyone as Little Red Riding Hood. She loved wearing a bright red cloak that her grandmother had made for her. One sunny morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother handed her a basket filled with goodies and said, "Take this to Grandma, dear, but remember to stay on the path and don't talk to strangers." Little Red Riding Hood cheerfully skipped on her way. The path through the woods was spooky yet exciting, with tall trees and rustling leaves. As she moved along, she hummed a merry tune. Suddenly, she heard a voice. "Hello, dear girl. Where are you off to on this fine day?" Startled, she looked up to see a large wolf with piercing eyes. She remembered her mother's advice, but thought the wolf seemed nice enough. "I'm going to see my grandma," she replied innocently. The wolf, sensing an opportunity, thought of a sneaky plan. "How lovely," he exclaimed. "And where does your grandma live?" Little Red Riding Hood described her grandmother's cozy little cottage deep in the woods. The wolf grinned widely, showing his sharp teeth. "What a coincidence. I was just heading that way too. Why not pick some flowers for your grandma?" Little Red Riding Hood thought it was a great idea to bring extra joy to her grandma, so she wandered off the path to gather a bouquet. Meanwhile, the wolf hurried straight to Grandma's house. When the wolf arrived at the cottage, he knocked on the door and disguised his voice to sound like Little Red Riding Hood. "Grandma, it's me," he called. Thinking it was her granddaughter, Grandma opened the door and the wolf pounced. He locked Grandma in the closet and dressed up in her clothes. When Little Red Riding Hood finally reached the cottage with her bouquet of flowers, she found the door slightly open. "Grandma, it's me," she called out. "Come in, dear." A strange, growly voice answered. As she stepped inside, she noticed something was very different about her grandma. "Oh, Grandma, what big ears you have," she exclaimed. "All the better to hear you with, my dear," the wolf replied in disguise. "And Grandma, what big eyes you have. All the better to see you with, my dear. But Grandma, what big teeth you have," Little Red Riding Hood said, stepping back in fright. "All the better to eat you with," the wolf roared and leaped out of the bed. Just then, a woodcutter, who had been working nearby, heard the commotion and rushed in with his axe. He chased the wolf away, saving both Grandma and Little Red Riding Hood. Afterward, they all sat down to enjoy the goodies from the basket together, grateful for their safety. From that day on, Little Red Riding Hood promised to always listen to her instincts and never stray from the path.